Hopefully this will be a quick fix, but this is the speed control board out of the Revox B77, and I think one of these what do they call it, varistas, or varistas, has given up. It worked for about 5 minutes and then it suddenly lost all control and just running away. So and I've tested all these, and I believe one of these is, as I said, dead. So I've ordered another half dozen. So if all three of them are out of spec, or anything goes wrong in the future, then I'll have some backups, because these are actually getting very hard to get. Hence, they took about 6 weeks or something like that to get here. So that was through Farnell's, or Element 14 in Australia. Okay, so I'll put the multimeter on, put it onto resistance first, and we'll see what we have. I've forgotten how I measured these. Okay, 511 ohms. $35 meg. It's obviously on that capacitor there. And that one's open. Uh, 1.8K. And 1.8K, okay. Open. Open. 1.26. 0.68. Don't tell me they're going to. Yeah, I don't. Yep. Maybe this isn't the problem then. So it's measuring now. Okay, let me look this up and see what the voltages are supposed to be on it. So that is really odd. I wasn't getting anything out of one of these two. Earlier, so AKG, oh, Fracco. Okay. 47 at 40 and 110. Pretty sure I've got some of those. or something very close. So I might replace the capacitors and see how we go. Very nicely made board. Although there's a little bit of corrosion down here. Or maybe just dirt. Let's see if we can clean that off. Yeah, it's just dirt. So what I'll do is I'll try and find a couple of these capacitors and we'll replace those, and then we'll put it back into the machine and see if it runs. Because one of both of those, or all three of those, are now measuring something, whereas one of them wasn't measuring anything at all before. So I found some 47 at 50 volts. Now I'm not sure whether it's 4.7 or 47. So I'll see if I can get these to attach. I might have to take it out, I think. So I'm not going to get the leads underneath this. And I don't think I'm going to be able to attach it either. So that will be these two, I think. That looks like a transistor. That'll be it. Those two there, I think. So we'll attach these. So we'll get them to stay. Yep. 50.85 at 0.62 ohms ESR. So that's not too bad. It shouldn't really affect anything, but I'll replace it anyway. Now these, this one's got a plus on this end, and this one's got a minus on, which I don't think this is, I can't find the CD with the circuit diagrams on it, and I'm not paying for them when I've got factory ones. Oh, okay, so that is a plus. So that end down towards these varistors is a plus. Okay. Gone back to this cheapo solder sucker because my Heiko one hasn't arrived yet, and my good one has given up the ghost. That's not very good, is it? Well, that did nothing. All I'm doing is moving bits of solder around. Might have to use some wick. This one is smaller. Come off you. Alright, I'll be back in a second after I get my flux out of the fridge. So this one has been replaced. I'll just measure this one. That should be about 100. I'll bring this in. I think you can see the screen there. So that's 109.2 microfarads at almost 1 ohm, which isn't too bad, but 109 is bordering on the 10%. And they're probably, not sure whether they're that close tolerance or not. But I'll have a look for a 100. It won't, and we'll try and get this one out. It's got a couple of things on that. So what else is on there? It's interesting. There's nothing. Might be that transistor maybe. Or have I not? Oh, okay. I think it might be there actually. That yeah, there's nothing above that. So we'll try remeasuring that, and we'll measure it down here. Although that does actually go to where I wanted it to. We'll try this anyway. Ah, 112.8 microfarads at 0.9 of an ohm ESR. So yes, that one's, if it's a 10%, it'll be a little bit, that's well and truly over. So I'll replace that if I've got one. Again, these are audio stage capacitors. The Silmic 2s, which I'm a bit loath to use, but they're just left over from another amp, which I did last year. These boards aren't all that transparent. Okay. So here we go with this one. Bit better. Okay. Right. So this one, is positive. Oh, I've forgotten about this little one down here too. Methinks I need a new chip for this. Okay, so what I'm going to do is go and try it, and then if it sort of works, I'll bring you into the other room with the tape recorder, and we'll see how we go. But I'm a bit worried because there's 3 chips there, and if one of those has died, I'm pretty sure I'm going to struggle to get new ones, replacements for those. At a reasonable price anyway. I'm sure I could probably get one, but I mean there's thousands of these tape recorders still in use, so yeah. Okay, so I'll go and do that and I'll be back. Oh, but first what I'll do is I'll test this capacitor here. That one is ready. Ooh, 114.8. It's 0.34 ohms or ESR. So that one seems to be very dodgy. And that is a 10 picofarad? No, that's a 10 microfarad. Let's do that again. It can't be 100. There must be something like in-circuit leaky. 114.2 microfarad. Oh, I suspect that it's this one. Gone really high. See if I get the same reading. $114.2, so So this one is a 10 microfarad at 25 volts, and it runs from there to there, then into the other circuit. Okay, so this is it in its glory of underwear, and it's playing quite successfully. At the correct speed. So it's 3.5 inches per second, and this is 7.5. 3 3/4 inches per second, and this is 7.5. So it was playing more or less at fast forward speed, so it can't have had any control over the motor whatsoever. The counter belt is quite loose, and the counter doesn't actually want to do what it's supposed to do, but you can actually get electronic ones for these days with little electronic numbers. So I'll just try this little light that I have. So we'll put any more light on the situation. So this is it. And what I'll do is I'll go and get a 10-inch reel of tape, and we'll see how it handles that. So this is the old Denon Studio Master tape. I've got about 3 or 4 of these. These were very expensive at the time. As were the Sony tape actually. You can buy new tape, although with the current exchange rate, I hate to think of how much it's going to cost. It was quite expensive last time I bought it. Now that is missing the back one of these. It just flew off before, so I'm going to have to be careful with this. More light on it for you. Didn't realise how dark this living room is. I've got to be a little bit careful here because it's all open, so things can get caught up in it. So we'll put it onto large tapes, and we'll put our speed is 7.5. Okay, well that's not right, is it? Is there no take up or something? Why isn't the take up? Stop. Okay. Get those loops out. The leader. These were never very good, these hubs. They're off an Akai machine. No. What's going on? That's that roller making that noise, but I'm not sure where that went to, but so the real size switch probably needs good clean. Okay, so I'll take you around the back and show you the board. Place that up there. Now, this was it here. So, yeah. I'm just wondering if that capacitor there controls the torque for the real size. But for the time being it is working, and what I'll do is I'll recap it completely one day, because there's quite a few nasty caps in here. Those Frankie ones hiding, and there's a couple of other different ones. This was bought in 1980, I believe, if I remember correctly. And oops, sorry. Yeah. So the power supply is around here, and it's got a very beefy transformer, as you can see. This is it here. Trying not to touch it. So it's quite large. It's probably 15 centimeters square maybe, or at least 10. And the control board is down there, and up here we have one of those Franco caps, 2200 at 40 volts. And then down here we have the inputs and output control boards. So this one is reasonably empty. There's a couple of slots for other things, like this one here. If it'll focus, yeah, I think you can see the slot. So there's a couple more along there. This particular chassis was also used for a Studer branded one, although all the parts in here are Studer. So there's a couple of very big beefy motors there, and there's another one down there for the capstan. So what I'm going to do is put it back together for now, and when I find the CD manuals and all that sort of thing, do all the electrolytics in here and test all the voltages and everything like that. It was sounding very nice last time I used it, but as it's approaching, well, it's well over 40 years old now, 43, 44 years old, so it's probably about time it gets an upgrade. So down here is the input and outputs. On the Studer one, they're balanced. On this particular one, they're RCAs. So that's the main difference. And of course, there's multiple speeds and everything like that. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed looking inside this Revox. It hasn't had very hard life. It's only been a domestic machine, so hasn't been used in a studio or a radio station or something like that. So I find that little backing plate for the roller. Okay, so you know the drill. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You can go into my Patreon once I revive it, and there is merchandise in the shop at my website, Electrosound. Until next week, bye for now.